Welcome to Real World AIP, the YouTube channel dedicated to helping you implement the autoimmune protocol. I'm Certified AIP Coach Stacey, and today I want to talk about Dr. Sarah Ballantyne's new eCourse, the Healthy Weight Loss online course. I took this course because I'm starting a new career as a personal trainer, and part of that is going to be helping people achieve weight loss in a healthy manner. In all of my life, I've never put myself on a diet to lose weight until this summer. I had a beach vacation planned for end of June. So at the end of April, I said, all right, I'm going to lose 1 pound a week for 2 months because I had gained 10 pounds. I know that it is discouraged a lot, especially in recent years, like, oh, just, be happy with yourself and accept a healthy weight, and, dieting is discouraged and all that. And I think that that's all for good reason, because I was still a healthy weight. I didn't really need to lose weight to be healthy. I was healthy. I was just aesthetics. Like, I'm going to the beach. I want to look good on the beach. But also I wanted to see what it's like to calorie restrict to lose weight, seeing how I'm going to be assisting people in doing that. So in my training as a personal trainer and a certified health coach through the American Council on Exercise, they're a nationally accredited organization. They go by the books. They go by the, FDA and the USDA guidelines. They're very centered around avoiding liability, playing it very safe. And they recommend to lose, for a healthy weight loss, they recommend that you lose 1 pound a week. Or if you're obese, 1 to 2 pounds a week, which would mean you would be in a 500 to 1,000 calorie deficit a day. Obviously, for me, being at a healthy weight already, 500. I'm not going to go into a 1,000 calorie deficit. That would be anorexia. So I said, okay, a 500 calorie deficit will lead to a healthy amount of weight loss, 1 pound per week. For the first time in my life, I'd never done this in my life. If anytime I had ever wanted to, my pants are getting tight, I would just kind of make a mental in the back of my head and work out more, or just kind of try to watch my portion size, and that's all I ever had to do. But wonky microbiome will make you put on 10 pounds, I guess, and I definitely was experiencing a lot of signs of SIBO. So I did it. I used chronometer, and I ate 500 calories less per day. Or some days I would eat just 200 calories deficit, 250 calorie deficit, and then I'd, walk on the treadmill to make up for the other 250 calories. And I was pretty good about it. I mean, I think maybe 2 times in that 2-month period, I went over by 100 calories or something. It's very easy for me to just stick to a plan, but that was the toughest eating plan I've ever done in my life. Just being in that 500 calorie deficit, I felt horrible. I felt awful. I've never had so little energy in my entire life. If you start AIP and you have no energy, track your calories. That might be what's going on. Track your calories. Being in a calorie deficit sapped my energy I can't even begin to describe. I didn't want to get out of a chair. I didn't want to go up a flight of steps. I didn't want to walk from the hotel room to the beach. I didn't want to move. My body was like, no, slow down. Take it easy. Don't exert yourself. Don't go down that flight of stairs. Stay seated. It was awful. And I started to think about food all the time. I was always cooking. I would offer to cook for Phil just so I could cook, just to be around food. It kind of made me feel a little better because I was starving, but I wasn't actually eating the food, but it didn't matter. I started baking a lot, experimented a lot, and I just stashed it in the freezer, I had so much damn food in that freezer. Yeah, so it wasn't even healthy. That was the closest I've ever become to not healthy attitude towards food. That swung my pendulum in that direction. After 2 months of that, I reached my goal weight. I went to the beach. I had 0 energy. I didn't feel good. It took me about 2.5 months to feel myself again. I don't know if it affected and I'm doing what they're telling you to do. They're saying this is the healthy way to lose weight. 500 calorie deficit per day, whether by food, exercise, or a combination. So why did it make me feel horrible? Why did it sap my energy so bad? And why was I thinking about food constantly, hoarding away food in my freezer? When I stopped, when I got off it, I'm okay, I'm at my goal. I wanted to maintain it, but I also wanted to feel healthy again. Eating at maintenance, I was still horribly fatigued. I felt horrible. So I was okay, I'm gonna go Buttermore style and go all in. Now, she's another YouTuber. I did not eat 5,000 calories today to reset my metabolism. But what I did was I just said, to heck with this chronometer. I know that I eat all the nutrients. I've developed very healthy eating patterns as far as nutrient density and vitamins and minerals go, and macros, balanced macros. So I'm like, I don't want to know how many calories I'm eating. I'm going to listen to my body and give it what it needs. And when I moved around August 1st, I purposefully overate because I was still not over that weakness. And I was like, I have a lot of packing and moving to do. So I ate just a bunch of whatever healthy stuff that I made, and not like gorging, but just I knew that it was probably a little bit over maintenance, and I didn't care. I was just like, please metabolism, please come back, or thyroid, or adrenals, or whatever the heck I damaged. Please, I'm sorry. Here's food. Please forgive me. Please kick back in. I will never do that again. I will never calorie restrict on purpose again. But maybe I went about it wrong. So that's why I was very excited to take this e-course by Dr. Sarah Ballantyne, her healthy weight loss online course. And I was curious to see how it differed from what, the USDA guidelines and the American Council on Exercise are all advising you to do if you want to lose a little weight. Now, maybe if I had more body fat stored, it wouldn't have had such a horrible effect on me, but because I was already probably 20% body fat, 20%, maybe a person with 30% body fat, or even 25% body fat, would be able to calorie restrict 500 calories a day and not feel that horrible. I'm not sure, but for me, someone with autoimmune issues, I don't know, and rather low body fat, it was a disaster for me. It took me 2.5 months to recover, to feel like myself again. And now I go for long walks every day, and I don't even think about counting calories. I just make sure to load the plate up with veggies and a healthy amount of quality protein, and don't dump fats on purpose, but don't be afraid of fats, healthy fats, and try to eat 3 big meals a day, and boom, I'm happy with my weight. And if I want to sway in either direction, I just up the workouts. So longer walks, more walks. I don't run. I don't like running. And I don't like being on the machines much either, so I like to walk. And weights. And so Dr. Sarah dives into all this in here, and okay, this course was amazing. I wish that I had done this course, and basically what it is, it's just it's like a couple hours of video from one of her talks she gave at a seminar, and then it also has a printable PDF with all the highlights of it. Who are we to listen to her? Well, she lost 120 pounds and she's kept it off for years now, many years. So that's good enough for me. Plus, she's Dr. Sarah. She researches the heck out of everything. Don't bark during my videos. They're being naughty. Stop. So basically, I'm just going to give you some highlights that stood out to me. 1 in 5 people are able to maintain a weight loss of greater than 10% of their body weight for at least 1 year. People lose weight and then they gain it right back. That's the whole yo-yo dieting thing. The reason that they gain it back, well, okay, and this is true, so true. Any diet will work to lose weight. You can do a cabbage diet. You can eat just cabbage soup, or you can go on Weight Watchers or Jenny Craig, or use Chronometer and eat 500 calories else a day. It doesn't really matter. Some plans make it a little easier, like keto. Keto works because it's very satiating. It's still a calorie deficit. Keto works because it creates a calorie deficit, but you don't realize you're creating a calorie deficit because it's very satiating. It's 2.5 hours of video lecture. So she goes into why maintaining the weight loss is so hard. She busts some diet myths. She goes into keto. She's not a fan of keto. I've experimented with keto twice. I have not had good results with it. I'm not a fan of it either. She talks about nutrients that aid fat metabolism. She talks about obesity and the relationship to the gut microbiome, lifestyle factors that contribute to weight gain, how to lose weight in a healthy way so it's easy for maintaining, and she gives you a magic number for the calorie deficit you should be in. And I don't want to tell you, because then I feel like I'm giving away her whole course. I feel like that's if I had known that, just to reach for that instead of 500 calorie deficit a day, maybe it wouldn't have been so painful. Maybe I wouldn't have took 2.5 months to recover from it. She actually tells you what caloric deficit to go into if you want to lose weight in a healthy manner, and you're able to keep it off and you're not messing up your hormones and things like that. One thing that I found she has in common with, I hear this a lot and everyone has their own terminology for it, but basically she says carbs mixed with fat trigger overeating. It's hyperpalatable. And Dr. Mark Hyman, in his book Food, What the Heck Should I Eat? Awesome book. Awesome book. I highly recommend that. Anyone that's like, oh, tell me what to eat, tell me what's healthy and what's not, and get that book. I will link to that in the description. Banish hyperpalatable foods. Do not cook up things that are full of carbs with fat. And also salt plays a role in the hyperpalatability too. You know, salt, sugar, fat, salt, sugar, fat. It tastes way too good. I mean, I'm not saying like don't ever eat carbs with fat, but I don't know how much of a great idea it is to all the AIP treats. I don't. Then, you know, you look at the treats as well. It helps people stay on AIP because they don't feel deprived, but at the same time, they're hyperpalatable, and then you've fallen down that road of too much sugar and too much fat. I don't know. I don't make stuff like that very often. When I do, I leave out a bunch of the sugar, freeze in portions, but yeah, banish hyperpalatable foods. She goes into vitamin A and all this really cool scientific stuff about how vitamin A will aid your metabolism, the type found in liver, not the type found in, you know, beta carotene, sweet potatoes and all. And she goes into the white fat and versus the brown fat, and leptin and ghrelin, and which strains in your microbiome will lead to skinny versus obese microbiome. She says, quote unquote, if we can fix our gut microbiomes, I think everything else follows. And the more I learn, the more I experiment, the more I so agree with that. I so agree with that. Like, I feel like it starts in the microbiome. She goes into sleep and exercise as an appetite suppressant because it lowers ghrelin. She goes into how much protein to eat, puts a lot of emphasis on increasing your lean muscle tissue. If you increase your lean muscle mass, that's going to speed up your metabolism. Your portion control is important. And she goes, you know, also emphasizes the nutrient density and the foods that are good for your microbiome. Not only protein, she addresses all of the macros. How much protein, how much fat, how much carbs should I be eating? If you wondered, you will find out. How many meals should you eat? You know, should you try intermittent fasting? She'll go into all that. Basically, if you're a woman, if you are having any luck with intermittent fasting, it's probably because, I don't know, you're lucky, I guess. That's really not the best way for women to lose weight, but at the same time, you don't want to be snacking little snack all day either. She goes into that. But basically, you know, don't do intermittent fasting on purpose, but like, don't eat every 2 hours either. There's a happy medium. She will explain that. How the heck do you pronounce this? Because everyone pronounces it differently. I hear a lot of people say autophagy, but Sarah says autophagy. I was always inclined to say autophagy in my head reading it until I heard people say an autophagy. Anyway, clearing of the cells, she goes into that even, and how it differs in people with autoimmune disease. And this was a very important point that she made that I just want to put here because I get a lot of questions about testing in general, you know, genetic testing, microbiome testing, hair analysis, food allergy testing. Food intolerances are not necessarily antibody driven. So these food allergy panels may be completely useless to you, or they might be helpful. For me, and I did them, I did the IgG and IgE antibody panel, and guess what? I had like 2 very, very mild reactions to like pistachios and cashews. It came out like that I didn't have a problem with wheat. The food allergy test was useless to me. It didn't help me at all. So just keep in mind that there are many ways to stimulate the immune system that are not antibody driven. She goes into which probiotics she recommends. I'm gonna give away too much of it though. But I do want to say that I wish that I had done this course before I embarked on my I'm gonna lose 8 pounds to look good at the I know that's stupid. I know. I'm sorry. It was kind of stupid. You know, someone with autoimmune disease, it's just I feel so healthy sometimes that I feel like I just feel so healthy that I feel like I'm a normal person and I can take these kind of risks or do dumb stuff like that because I feel so good. And then my body reminds me, you're so good because you have a healthy lifestyle, you dummy. Don't make yourself go hungry just because it said so in that book, and it's just, oh, this easy equation, eat 500 less calories, lose 1 pound per week, and everyone lives happily ever after. It just didn't work that way for me. And I wish I had taken this course before I tried it. And if you're interested in losing weight at a healthy rate in a healthy manner, and you want some cool sciencey stuff behind it and some actionable tips, I highly recommend this course. I'm gonna put a link to it in the description. Highly recommend it. and I will not have any more weight loss tales to tell, because I will never. I'm good. From now on, I'm just going to respect my body being at whatever happy weight it wants to be at, and just keep up my workouts and just be healthy. So I'd love to hear your experiences with this, if you've ever done that, if you've ever experienced like horrible fatigue and other problems, like waking up really early. I started waking up so early, like at the crack of dawn. I think my body was like, breakfast time? Let's go hunting. I don't know. Anyway, let me know what weird side effects you've had if you've ever tried to lose weight by counting calories and depriving yourself of food even if you were hungry because of some formula. And I'd love to hear your experiences with that. If you want to see behind the scenes clips and monthly exclusive recipes, check me out on Patreon. There's a link below, and I hope to see you soon. Until then, be healthy.